right, Kelly, thanks so much. And new treatments for leukemia have been a big focus here at the Hematology Conference, and making headlines recently was a company called Cellectis, which has tried its new therapy in just one patient so far. Check out that story.
1-year-old baby Layla had been battling an aggressive leukemia for more than half her life. A few months ago, her doctors had run out of options among approved therapies, so they turned to an experimental treatment. It had shown encouraging results in testing, but only in mice. Layla was the first human to try this new therapy. It appears it may have worked. Her doctors say Layla is now cancer-free. The treatment is a form of immunotherapy designed to harness the immune system to fight cancer. Treatments being developed by Novartis, Genotherapeutics, and others take a patient's own T cells out of their bodies, modify them to better detect and kill cancer, and reinfuse them. Layla didn't have enough of her own T cells to try this procedure, so her doctors worked with French biotech company Cellectis to try its method, a similar idea, but with donor T cells. Cellectis uses gene editing technology to stop the donor T cells from attacking the new patient's body. Layla's doctors say that while her results were staggering, it's too early to know whether the treatment is suitable for all children. And outside experts say it's difficult to know whether it was this treatment that helped Layla or some other part of her therapy. Cellectis plans to start human testing of the treatment, known as UCAR-T19, next year.
And joining us now from the Hematology Conference here in Orlando is the CEO of Cellectis, Dr. André Choulika. Dr. Choulika, thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you.
So this has just been tested in one patient, but the results are just incredibly exciting. What can we really extrapolate from these such early data?
Well, it's always very difficult to extrapolate from one case. Nevertheless, there are certain boxes that can be checked. The first one is it's the first time allogeneic T cells from a donor that were given to a patient, and the patient has no immune system to react against them. So the real question is, these cells are going to be toxin and attack the patient through something called the graft versus host disease. It means the T cell melting down the tissues of the patient, and there was no strong adverse effect, and this first box of the toxicity of the product was checked. There is no clear, strong toxicity. The second thing is the persistence of the cells. The cells stayed in the patient and were not immediately rejected. And after this, to know if the job was done or not, obviously the leukemia is cleared, and this is a good outcome. It's better than have no outcome at all.
Right. So much being invested here in the patient's own T cell approach from Juno and Novartis and others. Does your approach potentially obviate the need to use a patient's own T cells?
Well, for an autologous approach, as was described before, like in the presentation, the patient comes in, you draw blood, extract the T cells, and transform the T cell into CAR T cell and reinfuse it into the patient. In our case, the patient comes in, you open a fridge or freezer, pull a vial, and can immediately inject the vial, and there is nothing to be prepared because we industrially prepare and manufacture the product ahead of time. It's called what is called like an off-the-shelf product that can be given immediately, which was the case of this little patient.
So very exciting results, but the stock reaction has been a negative one, as we've seen for so many stocks coming out of this conference. What do you make of the investor reaction?
Like commenting the market reaction is pretty difficult for me. There are things I don't understand in the current reaction. I think the market are oversensitive. They're always waiting for things that are extraordinary. I think this is a huge advancement for medicine in general. There is like the results that were presented today by Novartis for autologous therapy are spectacular in terms of complete remission. There is a long time to invest in this product to be developed, but it's definitely a very promising advance in cancer, and I think that it will expand a lot of different type of indication in the future.
Well, lots more to talk about. We'll leave it there for now. Dr. Choulika, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
All right, Kelly, back over to you.
All right, thank you both so much. Time now for a CNBC News update.